It has been a long day. Some days I do this, it is as if divine intervention is coming down and saying, this is what we're going to speak about. And I feel completely exposed and open, and it transforms me, and I'm able to share. And hopefully it changes or transforms or at least plants a question for you. And other days, keeping this commitment of doing this daily, it comes up and it just feels like I'm pushing for it, I'm forcing it, I'm struggling. And that's kind of how it is tonight. But what's interesting is when I struggle and feel pushed and like I'm forcing something, I'm still getting the rep in. And what it does is it builds this self-trust part. Because there was a time in my life where I didn't believe anything I would say out loud. I didn't believe anything I thought in here or I felt in here. It was all over the map. And as you know, that led to depression, suicide, all sorts of horrific darkness. And what's interesting is as I've taken a step back and looked and asked this question, maybe you've asked it before, how the hell did I get here? I mean, when I look at my story, I'm like, it shouldn't be that bad. Like, there's so many people that have it so much worse than me. How did I wind up and end up here? And it wasn't like I made one decision one time that just wrecked everything. It was a series of moments and decisions or a lack of decisions or choices made or not made that led to this pain that just stacked more and more day by day, week by week, month by month. And so on the flip side, going through it now on the other end, decades later, of looking at this and saying, I don't feel like doing this today. I don't feel inspired. Who would want to hear me rant or talk? I don't even want to hear what the thoughts are. I don't even know if this is helping anybody. And yet, the part that pops up is, this is part of the process. And trust the process. Just turn it on. Talk openly, share, and even if nothing comes from it, at least you get a rep. And you will continue to build the self-trust that is needed. So eventually, what needs to be said will be said. Man, so many times I try to shortcut the process or turn a different direction, looking for a way to cheat, if you will. And what's incredible is there is no shortcut. It's simply doing what I committed to, building the self-trust. Even if there may be no value that time, but interestingly enough, I'm actually getting the most from this today, is because here I am, having no clue what is on the agenda. I'm just trying to figure it out as I'm going, but really understanding that it's the faith and the trust in the process, and to continue to show up daily, even when there is no plan, when it's just, I made a commitment, here's what I was told that I needed to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and I just show up. So, looking at a question for you, what is a process that maybe you're losing trust in or faith? And you're starting to go back on your commitment and starting to relive that breaking, that self-trust, and to say, no, not anymore. Even though, whether I don't feel like it or I don't even know what's going to come out of it, but I am going to keep my commitment and trust the process to see what happens. And I'm curious to hear, by doing that, what happens.